All right, we're live, Eric.
All right. Good morning.
Dude, I was just asking Eric how he was doing, and then he um, mentioned something that was pretty awesome that I thought we should capture. Right. So, how you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I've been, kind of struggling to adapt to the early morning rising. It's more like just adapting to the late, like going to bed early, and that hasn't been happening. And I've been experiencing a lot of sleep debt, which has been making, my early morning sessions difficult. But how one of the ways I've adapted is I just jump in a cold bathtub. I'd fill up the bath at night so it gets that like chill from the nighttime air, plunge in that, and yeah, it wakes me right up.
Yeah, Eric lives in Hawaii, guys. In case you're wondering about what his weather conditions might be like in order to make all that work. But I mean, one way or the other, cold bathtub being chilled by the night air, pretty almost wherever you are, it's going to be colder in the morning, right? That's
Yeah,
great.
for sure.
Yeah, this winter I was doing polar plunges. Yeah, I live in Vermont, and there's this local guy. He's mind-boggling, named Glenn, and he organizes the polar plunges. And for whatever reason, this year there was like a lot of local interest. It just kind of there was a surge, and so there were a bunch of us that every Sunday we went and we did polar plunges in the Green River Timber Dam or in the river out behind the farmers market in Brattleboro, like all winter long.
Oh,
That was
yeah, it's
exhilarating.
hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Um, Eric, one of the have you checked out 75 Hard yet?
I haven't checked it out. You keep telling me about it.
Listen to the podcast episode on the other side of the opt-in page at 75
Okay,
Hard. I encourage you to.
I'm
One
gonna
of the
write
parts
that down.
about 75 Hard is that you work out twice a day and you do it at least 45 minutes each time.
Okay.
Real workout, which is different than like farm chores, right? I'm not saying farm chores aren't a workout, but like, you know what I mean? There's a difference between a conscious, focused, like, let's go kick some ass workout versus like weeding
Yeah,
for an hour and a
absolutely.
half. Like they're not the same thing.
Definitely.
So real workout twice a day, 45 minutes or longer. You won't have a problem with this, but at least one of those workouts needs to be outside, right?
Okay.
But if you're getting a legitimate 90 minutes of power workout effort in every day, like you're going to go to bed early.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
probably
saying? Like, so as you're adjusting your sleep as well, you've been talking about how you've been struggling as you've been getting up earlier, struggling with sleep adjustment, and which is legit, right? And
yep.
so basically what I'm saying is consider a more high power and consistent workout regime and regimen because it'll tire you out. It'll get you to bed earlier.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually just thinking about this yesterday and last night, especially. Because normally I am working out all the time, and the past couple of weeks I've sort of fallen off of it as I've like been like really tired a lot of the time. But I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, just pushing through that tiredness. And I did work out a bit yesterday, more than I have the past like probably 3 weeks, which I haven't been at all. So yeah, just starting to get back on that again. Um,
Cool.
although what I find is it also kind of wakes me up too. Maybe if I
Yeah.
work out earlier in the day, I tend to work out at night for some
Yeah. Well,
reason. That's
here's the
like
thing, dude. If so, this is the beauty of something. Again, like I'm preaching 75 hard here because it was really helpful for me. Maybe it won't be helpful for you, right? Not everybody's
Yep.
into it. But one of the things it did for me was that when you have to, so one of the rules is you can't do back-to-back workouts with 75 hard. You have to do two separate workouts at two separate points in the day. So you're essentially forced to do your first workout first thing in the morning, because you also
Okay.
have to drink a gallon of water every day.
Yep.
And like you're not going to drink a gallon of water unless you start the day sweating and like you get everything kicked up, and so if you get up in the morning and you work out for 45 minutes, as soon as you're all systems go, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be jacked all day. Your metabolism's going to be going, your heart rate's going to be going, your blood is going to be oxygenated, your brain is going to be all working better, and then you need to squeeze in your second workout either midday or sometime before you go to bed. And so it's like,
Yep.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
It works like crazy, but cool. Well, awesome on the cold bath. One of the cool parts about phase 2 or phase 3 of 75 hard is you start doing cold showers every day for at least 5 minutes.
All right. Okay.
And so, that does the trick,
Yeah.
like I did it for a month. I did the cold shower thing for a month, and I loved it. It really was great. And then I'm not doing it anymore. And I know I would benefit from it, but I still am like, oh, I don't want to go through that again. You know what I mean? So I've hesitated on rebooting it.
Yeah.
But I found cold showers, regular cold plunges. I haven't trained in Wim Hof breathing, though I have a lot of friends who have, and of course, Wim Hof oriented cold plunges. Like these things dramatically increase our mental clarity, our energy, our productivity, our ability to get shit done. Right.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I've been also some other things I've been doing is like ingesting certain foods that help with mental clarity. Like I was able to find some fresh lion's mane mushroom in town recently.
I saw one of your reels or something with your
cool. Yeah.
with the lion's mane. Nice.
Yeah. So lion's mane is a good one, and then bacopa, it's like a herb. It's really good for cognitive function. Yeah, those two things together I find.
What's that last one called?
Bacopa.
With a B?
Yep.
Huh, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's really bitter. It tastes like shit, but it's really helpful.
Often the best things taste the worst, right? The best stuff worst.
Sure. Yep.
Taste the worst, alas. Not always, but often. Cool, guys. Yep. So we had a pretty rad pretty rad live stream yesterday. Oh no, not yesterday.
2 days ago.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
With Johnny Scoville from Chase the Heat jumped on, and Johnny's a serial entrepreneur, now YouTube superstar, hot pepper eating madman. And it was really cool to get his perspective and hear about some of his entrepreneurial journey during Wednesday's live stream. But I'm very curious, for those of you that are watching live or watching the recording later on, is what are some of the things that you do to get shit done? There are so many different ways we can look at this, whether it's the way we sleep, the way we feed ourselves, how we exercise, how we get mental clarity, how we motivate ourselves, how we set goals, what our day-to-day work structure or schedule is, how we build our teams, like how we, all of these things are factors. What we decide to work on, all these types of things. And so what I'm curious about is, from our viewers, is what do you do to get shit done, to improve your own ability to get shit done? What works really, really, really well for you? That's a big question that I have. Eric, I was stoked because I realized I was driving, and though this, get shit done system is a system,
and
a process, what I realized is that it's absolutely a work in progress.
Totally.
And it always has been. And so I'm excited to interview more entrepreneurs, both successful entrepreneurs, successful solopreneurs, business owners, and productivity experts in various ways, for that matter, on what their most effective techniques and tips are to get shit done. And then we can start experimenting by integrating them into the system, right?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So, it's not like the way this is done is This is it. This is forever and for all of time. This is the one system that you will use to get more shit done. It's not really like that. It actually is a evolving, growing, morphing process that we're actively experimenting with new things with. So again, very curious. If you guys have questions about how you need to be more productive or challenges that are blocking you from setting goals, completing goals, getting started, following through, challenges with procrastination, limiting beliefs, scarcity mindset, etc., please ask them in the comments. We would happily chat about it in a future video. Eric, I know you had some questions you wanted to go over today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I prepared a list of questions to ask you.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yep.
I know that one of the cool things that we're doing is turning these live streams into short form videos, right, for the various platforms, TikTok,
Exactly.
etc.
Yep.
And is it actually better if you're going to ask me questions? Is it better for me to be full screen and you to be off screen? Or is it better for us to be split screen? Like what is better for you to work with on the back end?
It really doesn't matter because I have all the editing tools where I can very easily crop to where it's just you. It's kind of maybe better if we're both in it.
Great.
That way I'm there asking the question and then there you are. And then, yeah, I can edit accordingly.
Awesome. That's great.
Yep.
That's perfect. So just leave it the way it is.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. All right. Well, fire away. Hit me with some questions.
Okay. As an expert in goal setting, what advice do you have for individuals who struggle to define and achieve their goals?
Right. So goals are a really big deal, and different people think about goals different ways. And so the first thing is, if you're against goal setting, if you're a person that's like, I don't set goals, I won't set goals, I'm not interested in setting goals, then don't listen to me right now, please. Okay. Like, that's okay. It's cool. If you don't want to set goals, I'm not here to convince you to set goals. Okay. Here's what I've found that works for me with goals and most of my successful entrepreneurial students. I've found that people that want to make more money, that want to be more successful, generally they want more. Okay. They want something bigger. They want more than what they already have. Okay. Now that's riddled with problems, as I've discovered. But, if you're in that situation where you definitely want more than what you have right now, the answer is you need to think bigger than you're currently thinking, right? You need to work toward achieving something bigger than you're currently working toward achieving, or you're not going to make any more. You're not going to be more successful if you keep just doing the same thing the same day every way. Like, you're not going to make any progress, right? It's kind of like if you weigh 250 pounds and you don't exercise and you eat the same way every day and you keep not exercising and eating the same way every day, you're probably going to continue to gain weight. You're probably not going to lose weight. Whereas wanting more, thinking bigger, is scheduling in an hour of intense exercise every single day and, going vegan, going paleo, adopting a ketosis diet, whatever, like doing something to eat and supercharge. And so that's change, right? It's thinking bigger, and it's a pain in the butt. It's difficult. It hurts. So the number one reason that I see that people don't achieve their goals is because they don't set big enough or exciting enough goals for anybody to give a crap, right? If your goal isn't big enough that it causes you to dream about it at night, it's not big enough. Okay, like this, you really need to go. If you're frustrated with where you're at, you want more, but you're also not setting good goals, or you're not hitting your goals. More often than not, I find it's because people set realistic goals that they think they can achieve, but that aren't motivating enough for them to change anything to get there. It's not a big enough change. Some people are very motivated by super minuscule small changes, in which case you're not listening to me because you're already hitting your goals the slow and steady way. A lot of people can do that. I can't do that. I need to go for something that's so big and so exciting. I completely obsess over it and go after it with everything I've got. That's the only thing that has worked for me in terms of hitting goals. The other piece about goals that's actually newer for me is that it's a pain in the butt and it's all super zen or whatever, but it's essentially like, honestly, appreciate what you've got more. Like, you'll find amazing opportunities come into your life that help you to go where you want to go and do what you want to do when you're genuinely appreciative and happy of what you've got and the people in your life and the resources that you have and the things that you have and the things that are right in front of you. Instead of being so focused on wanting more or something different all the time, really engage and be present with what's here right now. And you'll find that there's so much more right in front of your eyes that you're not even able to see. And it's kind of as I say, it's kind of a frustrating answer, but I found that to be more and more true as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's a great one. It's like the power of gratitude. I've found that to be so true. If you're like in this space of, because if you're wanting more, that kind of entails that you're in a space of lack, right? Whereas if you're in a space of lack, it just kind of manifests more of that. Whereas if you're in a space of gratitude, that's like more of an abundance mindset, and you're going to attract more to you.
Nobody wants to hang out with the soul-sucking vampire.
That's right.
Like, as a friend, nobody wants to hang out with a soul-sucking vampire. As a romantic partner, nobody wants to hang out with a soul-sucking vampire. As a business partner, nobody wants to hang out with a soul-sucking vampire. As a employee, nobody wants to hang out with a soul-sucking vampire. It's just like, it's not, I mean, maybe somebody, but probably not you, right? Right. So like the key is to like really take care of what you've got. And like the more, what I've been thinking about, for example, I'll just give you an example. So like over the last 12, 13 years, I've been selling online hypnosis programs, and I have well over 20,000 customers in one of my Stripe accounts that have bought over and over and over and over and over and over again my hypnosis programs for over a decade. Many of them have bought everything I've offered.
Nice.
And as a marketer, I want more. I want more subscribers. I want more customers. I want more money, right? Like we all want more. But the reality is, all the money that I could ever want for this business already is in the hands of those customers. And it's not about getting more customers right now. It's about deepening and furthering the relationship with the existing customers. And it's like the easiest thing to do is to pick up the phone and call is for me to pick up the phone and call every single one of them in terms of maximizing the relationship. But I also find that I procrastinate on taking action around that and doing that nearly as much as I know that I could or should. Every single one of these customers, maybe you're watching and you're one of them, would be thrilled to get a call from me. They've been listening to me put them to sleep with my hypnosis sessions for years, right? Occasionally I bump into people in public, or people email me and I respond, and people are stoked. And so as a marketer or as a business owner, it's not always about more, but often the opportunities that you need in order to grow and live a better life legitimately are right in front of you. And you're so caught up in the lack and this like desperation, you can't even see what's here. And so becoming more present and just connecting with the people that are in your life, doing your best to help them and serve them and care for them. If you have subscribers on your email list, if you have followers on your social media platforms, if you have customers and you have their phone numbers or their mailing addresses or their email addresses, then and you want to grow your business and you want to make more money, one of the best ways is to go deep instead of wide, right? It's just really spend the time connecting with the people who are there and who are paying attention and who care, right? It's so easy to overlook it though.
For sure.
So yeah, two ends of the spectrum. One, set way bigger goals that motivate you and like get you up in the morning and make you go after it. And the other one is like, dude, if you're having a hard time setting goals and hitting them, then maybe you need to be more appreciative of what you've actually got. If both are true, right? These are not mutually exclusive.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Oh,
whoa! We got madness up on the island.
Crash and burn.
Volcano. All right. Hopefully not.
Let's see. How do you approach failures and setbacks? And can you share any examples from your own journey?
Oh my. Well, so like I got really lucky by being kind of unlucky, right? So okay. I guess for me, like as a kid, I was very, very socially awkward. I was very bad in school, like academically. I had a really hard time with standard learning processes. Very ADD. Always was blurting weird stuff out and asking too many questions. My legs I had this condition called femoral antiversion. My legs were deformed and all twisted in. And so my feet pointed in at 45-degree angles and I couldn't really walk without my knees knocking together. And I got made fun of a lot for it. I had a really weird name, right? And I went to school in like, rural redneck New Hampshire, public school. And I didn't have a good time in school growing up. That wasn't my moment to shine. So I just I felt really bad about myself, right? I had a very poor self-image. So I guess what happened was I encountered a lot of difficulty, right? I encountered a lot of challenges. I wasn't good at sports. I had no hand-eye coordination, had a really hard time making friends, also had a hard time at home, like a pretty real hard time at home, right? And so it was like, I was angry and pissed off and all the time, and just I expected people to dislike me. I expected opposition. I expected people to think I was a weirdo. And at some point I like embraced it. And so, I, as an entrepreneur, I've started 15 businesses. One of them is running. Okay. So it's like fact. Technically I sold my portion of one of my businesses and then reacquired the business several years later. So I guess I've bought and sold businesses, but I haven't really sold business. Like I haven't built a business and sold it for $5 million or something like that. Yeah. And so whether it's starting new businesses or launching new products and services with existing businesses, the reality is that 80-90% of your attempts will fail as an entrepreneur. Okay. And you might get lucky and nail it right out of the gate. Like somebody's got to, but that's luck of the draw. You don't get to choose when you win the lotto, right? Or if, right? You can work your whole entrepreneurial life and work your ass off and never hit the lotto, right? Never quite hit it big. So you never know just how big you're gonna go, right? There are a lot of factors, but if you practice on improving your skills, like relentlessly for all of your business and entrepreneurial life, you will become a better entrepreneur. Your skills will improve and your chances of winning or winning bigger will increase, because you'll learn how to write sales letters. You'll learn how to write copy. You'll have tried 25 different traffic sources. You'll have operated in 5 different niches. You'll have become a copywriter. You'll have worked on other people's sales letters. You'll have started your own teams. You will have joined other people's teams. You will have you'll have tried all these different things, and your skill sets will improve, and you'll learn what you're good at. And so the reality is that think about it more like a sport that you're training at and practicing every 5 days a week, and then on the weekends maybe you have a game. It's like you win some, you lose some, you practice regularly, and you focus on getting better. That's it. And if you don't enjoy being an entrepreneur, and if you don't enjoy playing soccer, don't play soccer. Okay? If you don't enjoy being an entrepreneur, don't be one. It's hard. All right? It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And there's nothing wrong with it being hard. I mean, why do you think most people don't own their own business? Because it's hard. And by the way, AI is not going to change that for anybody. Sorry. It's going to make certain things easier for a bunch of people, but it's not going to make being an entrepreneur any less difficult, right? So failures are obstacles that cause you to become more skilled. They cause you to become better. That you have to, right? So that's all they are. Failures are you tried, you got challenged, you didn't do it. Do some more push-ups, try again tomorrow. That's the deal. And some of those challenges you keep bumping your head up against, and then at some point you're like, damn it. And then you take 30 steps back and you realize you could just walk around that one. Wisdom, that's also, it's not just about willpower and grit and pushing hard. Sometimes it's about perspective and, looking at it from a different vantage point in order to find a different solution to the problem or challenge other than just hard work. Hard work is critical, but it's not the only tool, right?
Yeah. No, that's something I found to be true. Like when I've tried things that were not working at all and maybe spent long periods of time continuing to do that same thing. So I had a lot of time and energy invested in the not working. You could look at it as a failure, but then you could also look at it as a tool to help you shift and pivot moving forward. Like what about it didn't work? What might I try differently next time? And how can I shift and pivot accordingly?
Well, so, when you see someone who makes it look so easy,
yep,
in any area of life, like an Olympic athlete, an incredible figure skater, a musician who's just nailing it from stage and isn't even breaking a sweat, whatever. They make it look so easy. It's because I'll probably misquote this, but this is like a Joe Polish quote. He probably requoted it from somebody else, which is success doesn't take a lot of time. What takes a lot of time is all the things that didn't work on the way to success. But once you know how to do the things and do them well that cause success, it's easy. It's a cakewalk. Once you can dance through the landmine and the landmine field and the path, what's your problem? Why are you guys getting all blown up? It's because you don't know the path, right? And so, once you have the experience, the knowledge, and it's hard written into your neurology and your thinking, then it is easy, right? But developing the skills and the knowledge and the understanding and the expertise for it to be easy takes time and experience, and often getting your ass kicked over and over and over and over and over again until you either become strong enough to endure the challenge or you become smart enough to not keep on getting your ass kicked and handle it a different way, right? And stop beating your head against the brick wall, and so challenges and there's no such thing as failure. Yes. Right. Because it's basically, here's the thing, dude, is you don't fail at anything you're trying to accomplish unless you give up.
Yeah, no, I've come to the same conclusion. Yeah, that's the ultimate failure, because then of course you're never going to reach your goal. That's the only like
yeah,
guaranteed result ever if you give up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then and then it's always, it's like, it's not the destination, it's the journey. You know, the classic thing. It's like, if you don't enjoy being an entrepreneur, if you don't like the roller coaster of doing this stuff, get off the roller coaster. Like, don't do it, right? But like, if you enjoy the thrill of the ups and the downs, and you're willing to endure the pain and suffering in order to hopefully achieve some level of success and freedom that's more than your current situation offers, then go for it, you know, with open arms. Please join us.
Right. Well, cool. Let's see. I'll pick a good one here. In your opinion, what are the key characteristics that make a good leader?
Ooh, you know, I'm trying to become a better leader.
Okay. Or a great leader, I should say.
Yeah, no, leadership is a tricky one, right?
Yeah.
My thinking has changed on this a lot over the years, and you know, I've built some amazing teams and made some great businesses and made a ton of money, and I've also really screwed up with some people and like made some wrong choices and didn't handle things well as a leader, and have had people leave my teams and not want to work with me anymore. You know, like,
Okay.
I've experienced both sides of this many times.
Yep.
I think that a great leader is equally as caring for themselves and their own vision and their own idea or ideas as they are for the people on their team and their family, and the new things that can be created from all of them together versus just fulfilling the leader's wishes, right? So like, the best leaders are part of the community, not the head of the community, you know?
Right. Yeah.
It really comes down to, you know, I think treating your team, and that could be your employees, it could be your freelance contractors, could be your joint venture partners, could be your strategic partners, it could be your downline, it could be your customers, it could be your email subscribers. But like, treating them with more care than anyone else does in their life. Like, if you do that, you will be a fine leader. You know?
That's right.
And another one that is a painful one that I've screwed up many times is 80% praise, 20% criticism.
Okay.
Even if people are doing the exact opposite of what you want, they're totally not showing up in the way that you wish they were, and you're pissed off, and you like 80% praise, 20% criticism. If you're constantly telling people how they can do better and how they can be doing different, like, they will start not liking you over time, as it turns out. And so really important.
Yeah.
Another one is these are all hard lessons learned for me, right? Another one is to become a great listener, or at least to become a better listener than you currently are, and to really be present and pay attention to and consider everything that the people that you lead are communicating to you, and realize that what they're saying to you is probably more important than whatever it is that you're thinking.
All right. Yeah.
Becoming a better listener. The good part about listening, even those of us who are super ADD, have a hard time listening, tend to interrupt people, have a brain that's going a million miles an hour, make excuses for being late, all this garbage. This is like, I'm pointing at myself here, right? Like, it doesn't mean you can't become a better listener. It doesn't mean you can't become a better leader. We can all improve in all these areas. And so there are courses and programs and workshops and videos and books and podcasts on all of this stuff that you can bathe your brain in on a daily basis to become better. So if you want to become better at leadership, there are so many opportunities for you to do it. But the first thing is being the first person to volunteer when something needs to get done. Like, you want to become a leader, that would like one of the biggest things is lead by example. You want a team that's going to like jump in and like get shit done. Like, you better be willing to jump in and get shit done first, like set the example. Don't expect your team to rise to the occasion that you haven't risen to yourself.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Those are some leadership tips.
Yeah. All right. Can you discuss the importance of building a strong personal brand and how it contributes to entrepreneurial success?
Yeah. So, in terms of a personal brand, I mean, what I think about with that is a personal, individualized relationship and connection with your fans and followers. And I was actually thinking about this recently. I was like, what if I just like dropped everything that I was doing in my life right now and decided to become a professional didgeridoo player, right? And I was like, could I do it? How would I do it? I was like, well, I'd probably play my didgeridoo on social media every day.
All right.
Yeah. And then I'd probably have a Facebook group for people that love didgeridoo music. Maybe my own music, maybe didgeridoo in general. And then I'd probably sell an album of my music.
Yep.
Okay. And I'd probably record that album in my office on my existing gear, like or on my iPhone, like get it done,
Right.
And then I'd probably upsell to a Tellman fan club monthly program for $29.95 a month. And we do a once a week Zoom call together where we can all play music together, kind of like a virtual, I'm just making this up, but like a virtual drum circle.
Okay.
So that's pretty badass. And so where I could play or we could all play together. Pretty cool, right? And then I could upsell to I could have an upsell for like $197, the complete Tellman Knudsen library, like everything I've ever made, right?
Right.
And then I could also like all the music I've ever made, for example.
Yep.
Or I could even sell it like, for $197, you're going to get access to the ever expanding library that I'm just starting right now, where you're going to get access to everything I make in the future. $197 gets you there forever. And then finally, for another $197 upsell, I could totally sell like how to play a didgeridoo course, right? Heck, totally. I could even upsell a didgeridoo for sale at the very end of the funnel. So now I'm playing didgeridoo every day on social media to build my email list. And people are opting in and they're buying my album for like $10. And they're getting a first month free or first 14-day free trial of the Tellman fan club. And then they're going to pay $30 a month to be in the fan club. And then they're going to buy the ultimate archive library of all the cool music that I've ever made or ever will make. And then they're going to buy a course on how to play the didgeridoo. And then I'm going to sell them a didgeridoo. Like, that's a solid funnel. And you could make bank. And every time you release a new album, you make a new front end for the funnel. And everything else is the same. So it's like, this is not that complicated. Like, it really isn't. But you do need to figure out what you're doing, you know, what you're going out there doing, and what you're focused on. I don't even remember what the original question was that got me talking about this music funnel thing.
Right. It was it was about personal branding.
Personal branding. Okay, so that's the whole thing.
Strong personal brand and how it contributes to entrepreneurial success.
That's how.
Yep.
Okay, that's how. That's an example of how a musician could just play their music, build an enormous brand and sell their music, have a membership program with recurring income, have a profitable funnel, be building their email list, and like growing with every day, week, and month that go by. Your list is going to get bigger, and the amount of money that they're going to pay you is going to increase. That's it. Just keep playing music, right?
Right.
But if you like, let's say you're like a really passionate astrophysicist. Same thing, okay? Just like get on camera and talk about astrophysics every single day and tweak the model to suit your needs, right? So if you own a convenience store, like, is there any good reason? Eric, there's a convenience store not too far from where you live in Hawaii that you go down to and sit in the parking lot sometimes, right?
I don't hang out at convenience stores. No. I mean,
maybe it was the co-op. You're at the co-op.
Yeah. I'm like,
great. Forget the convenience store. We'll just say the co-op. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. So the co-op. So you know what? I'll give you a local co-op example.
Sure.
And like most grocery stores, there are checkout lines. I think there are 5. It's kind of like a super small Whole Foods, you know, and there are everybody that works there is generally pretty friendly and nice and helpful and cool. And there are a lot of volunteers coming in and out. So, you know, a lot of new faces, but still everybody's nice and cool. And all the people that work there that regularly check you out when you buy your groceries, they're all nice. They're all nice. They're all polite. They're all cool. They're all complimentary. But there's one woman who's awesome. Okay. Why? She's a pun machine. That's why. She has a pun, often multiple puns, for literally every item that is purchased at the food co-op.
Oh my God.
Okay, you get her line. If you engage with her and like look her in the eye and she knows you appreciate the puns, she'll just like hammer you with puns for 9 minutes while you're checking out, however long it takes, you know, and it is the best. I always choose her line. Okay.
Yep.
And so like, I've encouraged her many times to like get on Facebook, but she's not really into it. So the point is that like, that's a personal brand. Okay.
Right.
And that's not, so you don't have to own your own business to do your thing. Okay. You don't have to own your own business, but if you have a strong following for your stuff online, and, you know, in my experience, email is the backbone of all of that. But regardless of how you're doing it or whose methodologies you subscribe to, if you have a strong following for your thing online, it's going to make it easier for you to grow your business and or to get jobs or opportunities or partnerships that you're looking for in the future, because you have a network of people, of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if you really build it big, millions of people that you can connect with and call on to help make great things happen, and collaborate with in order to have your and perhaps your team's dreams come true. So I really encourage you to, it doesn't mean you have to build a personal brand. It doesn't mean that that's for everyone. But if you're wanting to get better on camera, if you're wanting to be more extroverted with your business and more out there, if you know that you should and that you want to get better at self-promotion, and you're like willing to let go of the resistance around that, then probably building a personal brand could be a very, very helpful way for you to connect with prospects, leads, and potential clients and customers. At the end of the day, especially with the rise of AI and everything else, there are going to be less and less personal brands, because there's going to be more and more copy and marketing that is created and deployed by robots instead of humans. I think that personal brands are going to become much more valuable in the future because of the amount of AI noise that is being created and will continue to be created online and in the greater marketplace.
Sure.
Personal brand is your closest thing to actual real human connection that we've got online. It means a lot. It creates enormous trust that is much harder to achieve otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, when you think of Apple, who do you think about?
Sorry, I missed that.
When you think about Apple, or Mac computers, Apple computers,
Right.
Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like completely synonymous. He's not around anymore,
right.
but like still, that's the connection. Yep. And so, yeah, it's not the only way, but it's an incredibly powerful tool in the toolkit for people who are willing to and want to learn that skill of connecting in mass with people.
Right.
It's a very powerful way of doing things.
Yep. Yeah, or like Oprah, she's an example of somebody who has an enormous personal brand. Anything that she promotes, everybody's That's going right. to buy it, or not everybody, but everybody that, subscribes to her personal brand,
Uh-huh. Cool. Well,
yeah.
Is that it for today, or do we have anything else?
I got one last question for you.
Rock and roll. What do you got?
What time is it, Tellman?
It's time to get shit done.
That's right.
All right, guys. If you want to get shit done, go over to getshitdone.com and join the email list, join the gang. And if you want to get shit done on TikTok, you can go over to TikTok and you can search for getshitdone.com. Add the .com on the end of the Get Shit Done, and you can follow us over there in TikTok land. All of those videos are edited by Eric, by the way, so you can keep an eye on what he's doing. We just started growing that account in the last couple of days, and it's already starting to take off. So I'm super stoked, and yeah, really looking forward to getting more shit done. So hopefully you guys will join us. Eric, great live streaming with you as always.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, nice. All right, dude. Hope you have a great weekend. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all on Monday, if not sooner.
Sounds good. All right.
Later.
Yeah, see you later.